Hey YouTube, Jedi here. We're continuing this series showing off what I'm using for my Stage 9 dungeons. For this one, we are going to be doing the for the Phoenix. This dungeon is really fun. It's one of my favorites. The team I'm using is interesting because it's actually not the best type of team for this dungeon, but it works really well for me and I enjoy playing with this team. So I'm going to show it off, and it's going to be my Dauntless team. So guys, for this team, if you're looking for help actually pushing up the dungeon, then I don't recommend trying what I'm doing right here, because I have a lot of single target hitters, which is not ideal for this. You really want more AoE people. There's a few reasons why this works really well, but if you guys have like a Frost team, even with epic Frost champions, they work amazing in here. My Frost team is better. I just like playing around with this team because it's champions that I really like. So a few things to go over is making sure if you have these bonuses. I'm using a 5 elemental hero, and the reason why I want to do that is because I'm getting this extra damage and resistance bonus for my entire team. The total resistance bonus, this is a damage resistance. If I believe I'm correct, that should be a damage resistance. So you're getting to where you take less damage and you're doing more damage when you have a team set up like this. Whenever you're building out your affinity hall, let's just go over there real quick. For me, like, it takes a lot, so, and I'm sure it's the same for all of you, you can't just build up every single team. So I picked out the team that I wanted mostly, which was my Lightning Radiance, and I focused on them. So I have my Lightning Radiance teams up. I'm about to start over here for Lightning Radiance, so that gives me one. I did come in here and do some damage reduction for my Ice Necro, trying to push up some content with them, and I needed it. But for the most part, I recommend picking one and just getting them up, and then you can build teams like this that just work in every dungeon. So we're going to go in, quickly show the gear, and let this team do its thing and show you guys how it's working out for me. So real quick, my damage is mostly you want to try to push 100 crit rate if you can, which we do have on him, and then crit damage after that. And then if 1,000 attack is nice, 4,000 is ideal. And I have Garrett here, not quite at 100% crit rate, but we're close to it. He's at like 86. Quite a bit of crit damage and a lot of attack, so he does tons of damage. My tank here, I have him in some really tanky gear, and then I use him for that decreased defense. So it just gives you an idea of what we have going on there. I use an accuracy rune to keep his accuracy up so that he can land that stuff. And then also it's got a triple HP roll, so this is a really OP rune for me. I like to do these double sets a lot. If you do triple sets, the way you like to do it, I recommend one of the support sets if you can, which I don't have it on here right now. I need to change my gear up for this, but if you come in here to your support set here, this one is after you unleash your ultimate, your allies gain 15% extra attack. So if you're doing something like me where you're running 2 healers, if you put 1 healer in that will help speed up your run a little bit. In a couple weeks, when I grind out all my energy, when the next event comes out, then I will probably come back and rework them to where my champions are doing that. But for my healers, I'm using the free hero Catherine here. She gets where she helps us block some of the debuffs. And then Jillian here is my healer with the defense up, and she also has a cleanse, which helps out a lot. You can replace her with someone like Quarion or something like that. The reason that makes her more OP than those champions is that we do get a 1 debuff dispel on her, which helps out a lot. And then our aura, we're using a crit damage aura to try to push up that damage. So we're going to let this run full auto, and I'm going to show you guys how the team is working. And then when it's over, before I forget, I will show you my skill timings, because that is important. So mostly for this team, I have single target damage dealers, which they do lots of nuking. And then when the little ones come out, they're pretty good at taking out the little birds while continuing our damage on the boss. The reason this team isn't optimal is because whenever they're attacking these small birds, we are not damaging the boss because they're single targets. So that is kind of the weakness of a Dauntless team in something like this, but the team is still working out for me, so I'm going to keep using them. But I do recommend for you guys, go for AoE teams like a Frost team or rally team, something like that, where you're getting the AoE damage so that you can hit the boss along with the little minions. You'll see some of the important factors in this team, and if you're running something like this, I have them grouped up in a way that whenever Catherine is using her special, she's hitting everyone to block the debuffs, and if she doesn't block the debuffs in time, we have Jillian to cleanse them. But in all reality, if you have Catherine, she can do the block for you, and you don't need a cleanser at all, so you can replace Jillian with anyone who's doing a healing or increased defense, such as the rare Corion or Megan, someone like that will work out. The problem with Megan is the continuous heal doesn't heal people up fast enough, so if you're going to do that, Corian is probably a better option. And this is one of my longest running dungeons. I need to, like I said, get my Frost team in here, and we'll probably be able to speed this dungeon up a lot. Alright, so there you have it. That's the run. So the timing's not the best because we're using these single target hitters, but it works out really well. My best time on here, 208, was using this team, so some of it is a little bit of luck as well. Now running in here for the skill timing, just so you guys can see that. The main things I would say is for Catherine here, you want to make sure that she's set somewhere along these lines, and this is what's keeping her to keep the block debuffs up on the team at the appropriate time. And then for Sagamir, you don't have to worry about his timing. I was just setting this out for that way I keep his decreased defense up in the spots that I want it. His is not too important, but the main thing is for Catherine there. Also, Sagamir is a tank. He has a decreased attack, which is also helping out quite a bit to keep that attack down on the boss. But anyways, guys, that's my team. I just wanted to show you the run. I know this is not a super free-to-play friendly team. Like I said, if you're trying to build a really good team for this, you should be hitting your AoE damage dealers. I know Stu Gaming has a really good video out on how to beat this, super free-to-play friendly. So if you're trying to build teams for it, go check that out. I just want to show out the teams that I'm using. Anyways, y'all have a good one.